Hi there, accountants. I hope all is well, and I pray that as you are viewing this video, that you are in the best of health and spirit. This course, we are going to focus on QuickBooks Online, and as you know, QuickBooks is a very important software. They have QuickBooks Online, they have QuickBooks Desktop, but we're specifically learning about QuickBooks Online, and it's the leading cloud-based accounting software for small businesses. So one of the benefits of using these programs like QuickBooks is that ultimately it makes the accounting cycle streamlined. It makes it easier. Back in the day, they used to record transactions by hand, but obviously the limitation with that is if they needed a financial statement right away, there was additional manual work that needed to be done before the financial statements can be prepared. However, with the software like QuickBooks, and again, there are other softwares out there. There's programs like Wave, there's Sage, so there are other accounting platforms, but QuickBooks Online is again the leading cloud-based accounting software for small businesses. So again, one of the benefits of it is that it streamlines the accounting process. Oh, a very big disclaimer as it relates to QuickBooks Online or any other accounting softwares is that it is just as efficient and as effective as you understanding the basics of accounting. So one thing I would strongly suggest is if you struggle with the fundamentals of bookkeeping, which is the foundation of accounting, is basically garbage into the program. Garbage is going to come out of the program. So I would strongly suggest solidifying your understanding of the accounting basis. So we're going to jump right in. This is just the cover page. Again, this book is provided through Cengage QuickBooks Online for Accounting, the 9th edition, and the author is Glenn Owen. And Glenn Owen, the author, he has prepared several editions of this book. He has a background in academia and accounting, so he's writing from both perspectives, the theory of accounting as well as the hands-on page. So this is just a list, I'm assuming, of those who also had some type of, input into the production of this book. We move on to the copyright page. So with this copyright page, this is basically just reminding us that this text is the official published resource, meaning that we're working with the most up-to-date material, and it's tied directly to the QuickBooks Online platform, essentially. Next, we move on to the preface, and with the preface, here we have this overview. So in this preface, Owen, he's explaining the teaching philosophy behind the book. He basically wants to bridge the gap between accounting concepts and real world software application. Because again, it's not just about you knowing where to click, but why you're clicking. Why am I creating an invoice versus a sales receipt? Why am I recording an expense versus recording an asset? So it's very important to understand these nuances. So here in the preface, we have an overview. Accounting has arrived in the cloud and its time has come. So cloud computing is a general term for anything that involves delivering hosted services over the internet. So again, they also have what's called QuickBooks Desktop. And the challenge with QuickBooks Desktop is that whichever computer that software is downloaded to, in order to get the work done, you need to go to that specific location. The benefit of QuickBooks Online, which is a cloud-based software, is that you have the ability to be anywhere in the world. So long as you have internet connection, boom, you can get the work done essentially. So especially, in this day and age, we are post-COVID. A lot of people, they don't want to physically go into the office, right? If we're being real. So in such case, with a program like QuickBooks Online and other cloud-based softwares, that allows us to get the work done anywhere in the world. We just need internet connection. QuickBooks Online is updated automatically, so there's no need to install updates or patches and things of that nature. It's collaborative. Multiple users, they can log in. Accountants, business owners, they can log in simultaneously at the same time, and it's integrated with bank feeds, apps, payrolls, other tools. So this is definitely an amazing software to learn and to know how to master. So back to the overview. According to a recent study by KPMG, which is a global network of professional firms. KPMG is one of the big four accounting firms. Businesses, large, medium, small, they're using the cloud to drive cost efficiencies, better enable a mobile workforce, and improve alignment with their customers and vendors. So again, imagine being able to update your business's accounting information from anywhere on any device. That's where the global economy is going. So here it states, is this text for you? So this text is for you if you're an instructor, who desires a self-paced, self-directed environment for our students. So that's the goal ultimately with QuickBooks. You'll learn that throughout the weeks, the next 15 weeks for the semester, you can use it at your own pace, right? This book, if you sit down and decide, hey, I just want to complete all of it, you can finish it, within a few weeks, if not a week, right? You just sit down, you lock in. But again, it's not about rushing through it. You want to understand. You want to learn the essentials of QuickBooks Online and understand financial accounting and reporting. Business owners can also use this, right, for the same purposes. So as mentioned, this book focuses on QuickBooks Online. It is not designed for users of QuickBooks Pro, Accountant, or any other desktop version of QuickBooks. And in that case, there are other books that Glenn Owen has produced that can be better fit. The desktop version and online versions are different, as mentioned, all right? And some of the significant differences, we will discuss that as we move on to chapter 1. Use of multiple companies. So there have been some great improvements and enhancements to the QuickBooks for Online accounting book. So in prior editions of the text, Intuit limited students to creating only one company. Thus, the author had to use the sample company to demonstrate some of the features. But starting with the previous edition, we're using the 9th. But starting with the 8th edition, there's a new ability to use multiple companies up to 4 in order to demonstrate some of the features in chapters 3 through 10. So therefore, the sample company is only used in chapter 1. And that company that we're going to be using is Wild Water Sports. Think of that basically as like the practice company. And then ultimately there's going to be a case assignment. And with those case assignment, it further just reinforces the concepts and the nuances of QuickBooks that you've learned in Wild Water Sports. There's also payroll that you're going to learn about. And then with the instructional design, each chapter of the text is going to begin with a list of expected student learning outcomes, followed by a step-by-step explanation of how to obtain those outcomes. So that's the benefit of it, right? Let's say it says, in Wild Water Sports, they issued an invoice to ABC Company. It walks you through the specific steps of how in QuickBooks you would create an invoice. So that way in the real world, if your client needs to create an invoice, you would know the steps to create that invoice. The numbers are different. The company is different. However, the logic behind why the invoice is created and how to create it remains the same. So in most chapters, the explanations utilize the Wild Water Sports Company created by the student in chapter 2. And then ultimately the author demonstrates how to use various operating, investing, and financing activities of a business. They're captured and reported in QBO. So operating activities, this is essentially the day-to-day, revenue, money coming in, expenses, anything within the normal course of operations for the business. Investing activities, this is where they are investing in property, plant, and equipment long-term. And financing essentially deals with bonds and essentially deals with common stock. All right, and the payments of those things. So all of these things can be, reported in QuickBooks Online. There's also some end of chapter questions. There's matching. There's student cases, and the questions help you review the text, explain concepts and processes, and then the matching helps you with terms and definitions and things of that nature. And again, the cases that are assigned at the end, that basically helps you to reinforce what you've learned without giving you the step by step. For those cases, you will essentially refer back to the chapter. There are solutions provided. So that way, let's say you are working through an assignment and you want to know, hey, did I do everything right? You have a trial balance at the end of each chapter that ultimately lets you know if you are on the right track or not. So it's an amazing software. This is just some additional information, so you can feel free to, read through it. And then we look to the author, Glenn Owen. He is a retired member of Allen Hancock College Accounting and Business faculty. Again, he was a lecturer, and then he also has experience. So Glenn Owen, he's written multiple editions of this textbook, constantly updating it as QuickBooks evolves. Eventually, as mentioned, rather, this is a cloud-based software, so things are constantly changing. Sometimes you see that the interface, the look of QuickBooks looks a little different, but the nuances, the mechanics behind the scenes, the accounting basics remain the same. So his background as both an educator and an accounting professional means he understands how students learn best. They learn best with examples, with exercises, and case studies. So you'll see a lot of real world scenarios that are threaded throughout this book. And then this is just bringing us to the dedication. This is personal. Authors, obviously they use this to acknowledge those who supported them through their career or their writing process. It's a reminder that even in accounting, there are stories, mentors, and journeys behind the material we are learning. So he talks here about how in 2023, he was diagnosed with cancer, underwent radiation, chemotherapy, and it allowed him to be unable to perform his duties when it came to updating the eighth edition. But someone stepped in, Robin Browning, stepped in while he was recovering. So here he just talks about, this book is being dedicated to his wife, his children, his grandchildren, and ultimately those who supported him through this journey. So all in all, QuickBooks, again, it is an amazing software. We are learning about QuickBooks Online and not just how to enter transactions, but to understand how each action flows through the accounting cycle, the journal entries, the ledgers, the financial statements, and decision making. So when you guys think of QuickBooks, I want you to think of it not just as, this is another class that I need to pass, but recognize that QuickBooks is a tool that handles the mechanics. So while we focus on the meaning of the numbers, so by the end of this course, you'll get to see how QuickBooks Online automates tasks, but still requires your accounting knowledge to guide good decisions. So as we get started, I want you to remember this course is about combining accounting theory with technology. Glenn Owen's textbook is going to guide us with structured learning, and QuickBooks Online is going to be our lab to practice in. So let's get ready to dive in, learn the software, and more importantly, understand how it supports the accounting process and financial decision making in the real world.